Willpower Zone with Will Berry.
Hey, what's up? This is Will, and this is the second episode of the Willpower Zone. So, if you want more episodes, more information about how you can like, subscribe, and get on our email list, as well as also check out our programs, ebooks, and everything else, check out the link in the bio to learn more. So, let's dive into it. So, a couple of things we'll get a chance to go over today. One of the biggest things is really what is the zone and how to stay in that zone and how do you activate it. Also, I'll get a chance to share some stories that I have that really help me to be able to know what it takes to get into that zone because it is necessary to really break through all the barriers, all sometimes in the rustiness, or sometimes if you need to activate a huge barrier busting, area in your life. Sometimes it's time to go to the point of the zone to help you to be able to break through. And then we will close it out with just some closing, remarks and things and, insights that I, of course, have gathered in order to really help you to really be able to soar beyond your comfort zone. So we'll go over that. And then we'll also have a later episode that will dive deeper into the comfort zone and why it's important never to stay there, for even a second. So let's dive into it. So one of the things I wanted to go over today is really just figuring out, what does it take to activate the zone? So everybody talks about the zone, from a variety of different people, successful people, whether it's from runners or whether it's from, athletes in and other different spaces, whether it's fitness and bodybuilding, basketball, baseball, or football, or whatever sport, and even for individuals who are in a variety of different spaces, whether they are in whether it's sales, entrepreneurship, in a multitude of different areas. What does it take? Well, as I, of course, as a bodybuilder, I've tapped that well a couple times, and I've got a chance to hear and listen to a variety of different other people and podcasts and different information and books that kind of dive deeper into the deepness and what it takes to activate the zone. And one of the easiest illustrations that I can really be able to share with you is really think of yourself as let's say you only have 20 minutes that you're given to go about and getting your cardio done. And, let's say your goal is to get to maybe 400 to maybe 500 calories, depending on, what cardio equipment you might be using. You might work a little harder, have to get to that particular point. But what happens once you get past the point where you say, okay, well, I'm done. 20 minutes, that's it. So the zone gets activated once you hit a certain point where it seems as if, like, I remember seeing this was actually in a movie. I think it was something I saw in astronomy class, and it showed like what would happen if someone was actually able to accomplish going at the speed of light. And let's say they were, on a horse, and they went to the exact point of 186,000 miles per hour, which is the equal to the speed of light. What would happen? And it actually showed that the vision of someone, in many cases, that behind them, it would show like as if they were in space. This is basically a black streak in a sense, and everything behind them basically would be soaring past super quick. So the zone in many cases is pretty much once you've gone past and once you've reached that point where you now feel as though like you've gone past the comfort point, you've gone past every point that could have told you to stop, get off, and your mind's kind of just like, hey, we're done. The body's kind of hinting at that very same thing. But then you continue to keep going. You continue to go a little bit further. You continue to press your body even more. And it's almost as if it's like everything starts to slow down. It almost seems as if something else takes over. It's like you start to hit in a different level. You start to hit in a certain particular point that then allows your body then to start to then get to a point where it's actually maybe even moving into maybe shedding off more of the excess that might be on your body, where you're actually rising to the level of the performance level. So it's kind of like when you're on the cardio equipment, it'll tell you the range or level that you're at. So you might be maybe at the fat burning zone, or maybe the endurance zone, and then the highest of that zone is the performance zone. Well, that's the zone, and the only way to activate it is to push your body beyond its comfort points. Now I say do it, do it consciously, still do it safely, but I think it's necessary to really encourage the big changes that you're looking for. And really, one of the ways to be able to access the zone is really become committed, become obsessed. And so I'll tell you a little bit of a story that I think will kind of drive this point home. So, I, after many, many years, way back when, I was, 70, 80 pounds overweight, and really, really needed a monumental change in my life, and, was getting very stagnant, just like everybody else. You get it very deep in the comfort zone, and, just not being active, not being myself. And I was always an athlete, always active and always doing my thing. I've been, working out since the age of 12 or 13, and hitting the weight room, and, wanting to continue to, push my body. And then that, of course, carried me through high school, and then, even on into college. And then, of course, after working and, just, letting kind of time pass by, how it works. You eat what you want, and, things just, lead to one thing after another. And then all of a sudden you're just overweight and in the shape that you're not happy with, and you want to finally see a change. And what helped me to really encourage myself to want to make the change is remembering the times that I was at the point of my peak, and what it took for me to get into the zone. And really, it takes an undeniable work ethic, it takes an undeniable commitment, it also takes an undeniable amount of focus. And when you do those things, you leave, in many cases, everything behind you. And I got obsessed and made sure to take care of myself, eating right and staying active and going a little bit harder each and every single day. I asked more of myself. And it gets to the point where you start doing things and you're just like, oh wow, I had no clue I've been running the last half hour, and just seemed like it flew by. Or I've been jogging and running and impressing myself on the treadmill for the last hour. Or I, didn't realize in the last 30 minutes or so, I've burned about 1,000 calories. Of course, I love the Stealth Climber. I mean, any bodybuilder, anyone in fitness basically is like, that's their go-to machine that they will use to really scorch and really, burn those calories. So I wanted to share that story, but really that really was a catalyst for me to decide to become a bodybuilder and, move into really, stressing my body and really pushing to the next level. So I wanted to share that with you. The other thing also too is, some of the nuggets and things that I've learned from people, one most notably, individuals like, people like, David Goggins, and, people who, Tom Bilyeu, he does impact theory, and, he's talked to a variety of different people who've, cited about performance, and, people like, Tim Ferriss, he talks about the 4-hour work week, and then, and a variety of different things, people who are, big experts in this area. And, we're learning what it takes. I'll even tell you another story. This was also pretty cool. I remember back in grade school, I was really big into sports and stuff, basketball, baseball, football, and everything like that. And I remember one day we were playing basketball, and, it was just like a normal, usual day. And I remember that day exactly, where I was just in the zone Since I pick up the basketball, hit the 3-point line, swish, just automatic. And I remember that day, I think I ended up sinking eight 3-pointers that particular game in particular. And it was like as if the basketball hoop was a mile wide, and it's as if every single time the ball left my hand, it was like I felt almost numb, but it went in each and every time. It was just automatic. It's interesting because, people like Michael Jordan and many other people, where they felt like when they were on, they were in their rhythm. That's being in the zone. So, I encourage you, especially, push your body to the limits, and you will see that, really something else takes over in order to help us perform at our highest point. So, I hope that, me sharing with you some of the stories and some of the things that, is going to be, able to be helpful for you to take you to that point, to help you to then accomplish being in the zone. So when you're in the zone, some magical things happen, and big changes get a chance to happen. Big goals get a chance to be accomplished. Don't be afraid to go the extra mile, because many people are not there, and going another mile after that, make that sacrifice, because you will start to see that you get a lot of things done. You made a lot of headway into some of the things you've been wanting to do, all because you were committed to taking the time, the extra motivation, the extra desire to reaching the zone. So, come back, of course, to the next episode of the Willpower Zone. So if you want to learn more, get access to some of the ebooks, some of the other information, getting on our email list, learning more updates about episodes and, interviews and, a variety of different things that we're going to be doing. Check that out. The link is in the bio. So I look forward to seeing you in the next episode of the Willpower Zone. Bye.